all the
American musicians I know are always incredibly curious in these really extreme cases of music. What are the outer corners of music? Extravagant music, crazy music, the most out music you can imagine. I find it really interesting to be with friends here, and they say, hey, have you heard this record? This is the most crazy thing I've ever heard in my life. Here, listen to this. And then you hear this music that is from whatever, Burma, which is completely atonal and totally rhythmically makes no sense, but has its own very specific identity. And, you know, what is that? I mean, that's the curiosity I had with Steve Coleman in the late 80s, playing with Dave Holland. I mean, here he plays incredibly in time. His sound is beautiful. He plays over changes. He plays rhythms, and he plays really complicated stuff. And I can't figure it out. What is it? You know, it's not like Charlie Parker bebop. It's not like like minor scales over a dominant chord. It's not what it is. It's something totally different, and I wanted to know that so I could understand it and see if it's something for me to absorb. And same thing with Joe Maneri. You know, what is that? How does that guy come to this crazy way of improvising? What is that?
All those things that you're learning, how do they come together inside of you?
Well, the only conclusion you can draw from all that you have to find your own voice and see what extreme corners you can go into and still feel comfortable doing it, and play like yourself, you know, find yourself, because that's the whole message about this, you know, and that's what great improvisers do. They search for themselves. I mean, yeah, you copy your masters for a little while, but then at a certain point you need to throw that away. You need to start playing, you know. I had the luck to see people like Joe Henderson and Miles Davis I saw, and, you know, Dizzy Gillespie I saw play. All these masters I've, you know, still seen little concerts of. But young people now, if you're 20 right now, it's all gone. You know, that big period is gone. So people are much more open, I feel, to improvisation from all kinds of corners. Even if it's totally free electronic improvisation, they mix it in with their you know, Coltrane licks or their it's more organic now, and that I find it very encouraging. It's nice to see. Also, people from different backgrounds. I have an ensemble at NEC. I'm teaching an ensemble at NEC, and we always have people from different countries, different backgrounds. We constantly have these questions: how are you dealing with your own background? Even if they're Americans, if they're African American or Jewish American or whatever American, they have different backgrounds. How do you deal with that in your own music? Do you deal with it at all, or do you not deal with it yet, or are you thinking about that? You know, that stuff I think it's very important.